Hello everyone, welcome back to Tesla Jigsaw. If you watched our earlier video, you already know that we tested the prototype S3XY Dash from Enhance Auto. Well, today Graeme has installed the official finished version and we're taking a proper look at how it performs in real-world driving. This is a fully customizable 9.6-inch touchscreen instrument cluster designed specifically for the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y, and it also brings Apple CarPlay and Android Auto right in front of the driver, plus deep vehicle data, all while keeping that clean Tesla feel. And Graeme's been living with it for a little while. Yeah. I want to know how you're getting on with it. How are you, Graeme? First of all, welcome. Hello. Should we shake hands? How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much.
Welcome. I'm just stunned at your cleanliness of your car. It's absolutely beautiful in here. It's looking lovely.
Thank you.
And it's looking like you've enhanced your vehicle with the dash in front. So how have you been getting on with it?
Yeah, so I've been using it to commute, which is really good. There are elements that I like about CarPlay navigation that you don't get on the native Tesla app. So one of those features is just a kind of how long are you going to spend in traffic, because my commute invariably I spend time in traffic, and it gives you that little estimate as a little pop-up there on your route. When you hit that traffic, it says you're going to be through it in 11 minutes. That's a really nice little feature to have, I think.
Well, let's go right back from the beginning then. Walk us through the install process. How easy was it to connect the dash to the commander and pair it with Bluetooth? So for those that don't know, there's a commander just inside the door. It connects into the car's CAN bus, and then the dash connects via Bluetooth to that, giving you all this extra info and display right in front of you. So how easy was it to install? I noticed it's really neat. You can't see any cables anywhere.
There's no wires, which is really nice, because some of the other dashboards that you see have got a wire coming out through here, for example. And so you can see no visible wires, and it's just popping off this top section here with the pry tool that Enhance give you. And you can feed the wire through a point in the dashboard around about here, and you tie a cable tie to it so you can pull it through, and it comes out behind this panel here.
Okay.
So you pop the panel off at the side here, and then it pops out through there, and then you can route it down through the pillar into where the connector is, and then they give you another wiring harness specifically for the dashboard that connects in between all the other devices that you might have with the commander. So I've got the sexy knob, I've got a couple of buttons, I've got the indicators, and they all run on the same system down there. So it just plugs in.
Just noticed you got the indicators since we last saw. Yeah, cool. That's great. And as for the connection to the screen itself, is that a MagSafe thing behind it?
Yes. Well? So this actually just pops off.
Oh right.
Yeah, and it's a really strong magnet. Yeah. And it doesn't move. It doesn't shake.
Can you twist it if you need to?
Yes, you can. You can put it into different positions as well.
Yeah. So I don't suppose it affects the air vents either anymore, because you've got a gap between. So
no, it still comes out through underneath. Yeah. I haven't really noticed any kind of degradation in how I've felt with warmth or cooling, and since that dashboard was installed. So I can still feel. Put your hand here, you can still feel air flowing over and underneath it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So it doesn't kind of block that out.
I mean, you can also have it mounted further away, can't you?
Yes.
But because it's a touch screen, it sort of makes sense to be close to you. So because the screen sits close to your fingertips, how does the touchscreen feel in practice, and how well does it work with the steering wheel, scroll wheel, the sexy knob as well?
Yeah, I mean it's really responsive. The scroll wheel is the one on the right hand side that you use.
Yeah. And
it just takes you through there's 5 different pages, so you can have 5 different dashboards set up, and they're all customizable to how you want it. So I've kind of fiddled about with this for the last week to try and get all the features in there that I want on the various different dashboards.
Yeah.
So you can see this setup here. I've got the Google Maps up here, and I've also got the speedo here as well. And the speedo gives me some useful information about the percentage of remaining in the battery, and whether I'm in park, reverse, neutral, or drive, plus a speed, and I'm in like the standard rather than chill mode. And then you can scroll up. So, sorry, I just touched the windscreen wipers. You can see there's a lot of information in here as well. So you can see how much I've been AC charging and how much I've been DC charging. So I've done a little bit more DC charging since last time.
You're on 100 last time, isn't it?
Yeah, 16 kilowatt hours more. Woo. You can see my battery there, the horsepower. So obviously things are running in the car at the moment. My usable battery is surprised me a little bit, 76.2 kilowatt hours.
Yeah, I've got a little more than you thought.
Well, yeah, because I've got 3.2% degradation. So
wait, God, I love my setup. Feel free to support me on Patreon so I can afford some better equipment.
Good reactions, eh?
Thank you. I was ready for it all this time. I think it's probably because the sun's melting us.
It's probably,
Yeah, all right.
I can feel the heat.
Yeah. Okay, as you were.
So, yeah, you can see that I've got 76.2 kilowatt hours usable, and I've got 3.2% battery degradation. I need to do a kind of a full charge and discharge thing to reset that. But I was surprised about that value because it's more than I thought. How much charge I've currently got left, so 48.7 kilowatt hours. Battery is at nice 26 degrees. So if I go through another menu, this is the full map. So it just takes a moment or two to connect to the Bluetooth. So you got the full map coverage here. So this is like you know, like Audis you get into, and you can have the whole dashboard filled with the map.
Right, I haven't been in one.
But this kind of simulates that.
Yeah.
But you still got your speedo in the corner here, and you can see that some of the information from the dashboard is copied across, like the auto lights.
Yeah.
And you got the outdoor temperature there, but you got the full screen dashboard there.
Yeah. So how responsive is the screen when you are using it, and you know, the customizable displays?
You can see it's really quite snappy. I go to Waze, and it just loads pretty quick.
Yeah.
Just give it a moment to connect, find the satellites, and there you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty swift.
Yeah.
And then you can obviously access lots of other apps as well. So you've got Zap Map, and don't use Shell Recharge.
Right.
You know, parking apps are on there.
Yeah.
Google's.
Well, so tell us about Apple CarPlay integration. How seamless is that? And you know, can you resize and move the CarPlay window on the screen and things like that?
You can have the maps different size, so you can just click on here. You can edit, and you can say I'd like it smaller. Click OK, and then you can see that the actual the mapping is smaller, and you've got space to put a couple more widgets.
Yeah. So it's really quite customizable to your needs, then, isn't it?
Yes,
and I imagine it's very appealing to you know, data geeks and nerds and stuff, because you can put whatever you want in front of you.
Yeah. And
enjoy it. I mean, it's not for everyone. I mean, me personally, the reason that you've been using this for me is because I'm not that interested in stats and data and things like that. I'm not much of a computer whiz. If you like delving into the weeds, this is brilliant. This is like Windows, isn't it? For people who like to go behind the scene and be able to control everything.
Yeah, I think it's also for a lot of people that are coming out of combustion cars, for example, and they're used to having this and they can't get used to this. One of my bugbears about Tesla is if we look at the navigation, it's more on the passenger side than the driver's side, and so you're looking over that way, and you do get used to it, don't get me wrong, but also having navigation right near your eye line here is quite beneficial. So often I run both navigations at the same time.
Right.
I use there's the voice commands, and I have this running, and having both actually has got me out of a problem, because this reacted quicker to a traffic incident on the M25, and it got me off the M25 where that hadn't caught up.
Oh,
so that was quite useful doing that as well.
You can also just set and forget it. So once you've set it up, and just keep it on the main screen that you like, it'll just turn on and off as you get in and out of the car, and it's just there for if you need it. It's an interesting point to consider that the Model S and the X comes with that screen right in front of you. It is only the Model 3 and the Y that they decided to move everything onto the single screen, because you remember when the original Model 3 came out, the idea was that, oh well, you won't be able to, you won't need a steering wheel in these one day, so we'll just take out the steering wheel, put a blank cover over that bit, and it'll drive itself.
10 years
a little while ago, they were a little ahead of their time with that, but that's why this is so symmetrically beautiful inside a Model 3. Was all that time ago, that was the vision for these cars, so there was no reason to have any displays, because everyone thought they'd be driving themselves by now. Which is finally happening, just taking a bit longer than we thought, because who knew it was a really difficult problem to solve.
Exactly.
But it makes a lot of sense. If you like to see more information and have something right in front of you, then this is the solution. And there's loads of other different versions of this on the market, but there's none quite as solid as this one.
No, and I've been looking at all those different versions as well, and there are product testers out there on YouTube that will test them all, and I think they come to the conclusion that this is the best, and it feels,
Yeah.
you know, because there's a lot of integration in there with usable functions from the car. As you can see in this dashboard, I can preheat the battery, I can turn on the interior lights or the rear fog lights just at a touch of a button on this particular dashboard setting. I can see my music, I can see the information from the navigation, from the main navigation in the Tesla that's displayed up here as well, and then my speed. So you know, there's a lot of familiarity with it, with Tesla, and I think that's how instead of, you know, trying to copy what a Tesla might look like but without the integration, you know, Enhance have done a great job at integrating a lot of the features and functions in your Tesla that you might want to access quickly. And rear fog lights is one of those. It's another little bugbear of mine. It's like, how do you quickly get to turn the rear fog lights on when you're doing 60 miles an hour on the motorway, and you don't, you know, and you're trying to tap the screen up here? Well, I can just touch the screen there very quickly, and it will turn the rear fog lights on.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a Tesla product.
Yeah, it certainly looks seamless in here. It goes to the screen, even the fonts and everything are remarkably
Yeah,
similar.
it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, really good. Well, thanks for showing me around it. So big thanks to Graeme for fitting and testing the official Sexy Dash. It's a proper upgrade for anyone wanting better info at a glance without constantly looking at the big centre screen. If you're interested in grabbing one or any of the other sexy ecosystems like the commander, the buttons, the knob, or even these indicators that Graeme's got, head to enhauto.com and use code JIGSAW10 for 10% off. What do you think? Would you add a second screen like this to your Tesla? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more Tesla accessory reviews. And be sure to follow Graeme_Cobb on X. Thanks very much, Graeme.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.